Right. Welcome. We are live today, and I want to go ahead and talk a little bit about releasing the stress that we have in our bodies and how we can start to um, calm our lives down, moms. So I'm Stacey Johnson. Welcome to Calm Mom Conversations. And again, grab your favorite beverage and just take a moment to relax and listen in on some tips to help you find that calm. And so I have my water for today. And that's what we're going to talk a little bit about too. Is I've been sharing every Sunday, we call this Somatic Sunday. So I've been sharing, somatic techniques, and we will do that today. But we're going to talk a little bit about, what things we can do to incorporate into our day, and so these somatic techniques is something that you can do every day. You can find moments of the time, but also I want to talk a little bit about like what I do, my morning routine. Every morning before I even start my day, even before I look at my phone. Now, this has been something new for me. I started this in January, is not touching my phone when I first wake up. And so what I do instead, and I feel like the sun is really washing me out, so we're going to move a little bit. Okay. So before I even start my day, I, I will journal, I will meditate. I use a meditations, and I connect to myself with, I connect to my inner energy, my inner light, every morning. And that way I can release any negative emotions that I'm feeling. I can, uh, I can release, I'm sorry, I keep moving you guys around. I can release negative emotions that I'm having. And when I connect to myself, it's a heart harbor technique that I've been using. So I'm able to connect to myself and release any, negative emotions. But then that also helps me when I connect to myself. I'm able to, sit with my own intuition and listen in on what maybe I need to work on, or, what kind of support that I can get from myself. Because so many times when I've worked with moms, overthinking is a lot. A lot of moms that I work with overthink, and they have negative self-talk, this belief system. And so learning to connect to myself and getting that intuition really helps with the overthinking. And so I've been doing that as well. I make sure that I do drink enough water. I go to an exercise class 3 to 5 times a week. And I make sure that I'm consistent with my morning routine every morning, even before the day starts. And that has made a huge difference. And the other thing that I've been doing is, and I've been doing this for a little while now, is that I have been taking more consistently, been taking some very, some supplements, and they are packed with high quality ingredients. And I have a membership to a health and wellness company that provides me those supplements, and those have been really helping as well. And so, but that membership helps me with my financial stress, because financial stress is huge and it can affect a lot of our overthinking and our well-being. And being a member helps me with that financial stress. And so if you're interested in knowing more about how to reduce that stress in your life, the link is down in the description. And so go ahead and grab that if you want to. Because like I said, the financial stress can play effect on things. And so I would love to share more with you. And make sure you subscribe so that you do not miss any information from Calm Mom Conversations. And there's a coffee link as well. Love to chat with you, 15 minutes, see where, your overwhelm, where is your overwhelm at? And how can, we, look through some of the strategies that have already been on here and what strategies you're already using to see what we can do to help you find more calm for yourself. So let's go ahead and look at 2 new somatic techniques for this week. Again, remember, I have been a therapist for 25 years. These cards are probably not able to be bought anywhere else because I did buy them on a therapy platform and I had to actually put my license number in it to access them. So they're probably not available for anybody else. And I've been trying to make sure that I don't repeat. I should have been marking them down as I did them, but we're going to go ahead and pick 2 from the on the here. All right. So, and again, our techniques or the tips that I share with you can be done anywhere. They do not require usually no equipment, and they don't involve a lot of time. And that's what we need when we're looking at building self-care into our already busy life. Because as a busy mom who is maybe taking kids to places or, working full-time out of the home, working full-time in the home, cooking dinner, laundry, paying bills, all of it. I call us the CEOs of the household, right? So we want things that we can do in real time. So this is one for sure you can do in real time. I use this a lot with all of my clients, my therapy clients, my coaching clients. I use it all the time. And it's called the 5-4-3-2-1. And yes, Janice, yes, you may have heard this before. It is a mindfulness technique, and I use it all the time. It's a grounding technique, mindfulness. It's commonly used to assist individuals to reconnect with the present moment and handling feelings of anxiety or stress or overwhelm. I use this, and I also teach my Heart Harbor technique. The Heart Harbor technique is a little bit more involved than just the 5-4-3-2-1. And the Heart Harbor technique gets us more in connect with our inner self, not just in the moment. That we have to do that, but also the Heart Harbor technique gets us into that connecting to our inner self, being able to tap into our intuition and have that kind of support from our own self. So the 5-4-3-2-1 is pretty simple. You start with, I always say, take a deep breath, so breathing in through your nose and release out through your mouth. But then you will take a moment and you're going to look around for 5 things that you can see. And it can be in your environment. Pay attention to details and colors. Then you're going to go to 4 things you can touch. Focus on 4 things you can physically touch. Feel their textures. Notice the sensations. Now you're going to do 3 things you can hear. And listen for 3 things that are distant sounds in your surroundings. Not right here, but in your distance. Like right now, I can hear my dog snoring. I can hear the furnace kicking on. I can hear down the street, I can hear a louder car. So you want to look for or try to hear things that are more distance for you. And then you're going to do 2 things you can smell. Identify 2 scents in your environment. It might be aroma from food, nature, maybe if you're outside, or any other smells that you may notice. And then 1 thing you can taste. Bring awareness to your sense of taste by identifying 1 thing you can currently taste. It could be the aftertaste of a drink or a lingering flavor that you may have had. If you don't have a taste, that's okay. It's not necessary. And this grounding technique gets you in that present moment because, again, overwhelm can be created by our own thoughts. And so what you're doing here is you're taking control and you're focusing on things because your brain is not going to be able to do these things and continue to overthink. So we're bringing you into the moment. Now, the other one is a ball under the foot. So this is something you will have to have one. This is maybe, there's only a few that I'm going to teach that you need equipment. And this is not a very big equipment, but using a ball under your foot can relieve foot pain, release tension, and improve circulation, flexibility, and overall foot health. This simple self-massage technique is easy to include in daily routines. And a lot of times we're on our feet, we're running around, we're doing things. And so we actually hold a lot of tension in our feet. And when our feet are holding all that tension, it can regulate up into our body and we can start to feel stress everywhere. And so this technique is actually going to require a firm ball, like a tennis ball, for optimal pressure. But you can sit or stand comfortably in a chair or near a wall for support. You're going to position the ball under your foot's arch, ensuring it's centered. Apply gentle pressure by gradually rolling the ball along the length of your foot. Focus on tight spots in areas of discomfort as you roll for a few minutes. Switch feet and repeat the process to address both feet evenly. Afterward, stretch your feet by pointing and flexing your toes and ankles. Make sure you stay hydrated and allow your muscles to rest and recover, especially if you've applied deep pressure during this massage. I do this often, like when I'm sitting and watching TV, or even if I'm working, at my desk. It's something that has really helped. There was a period of time when I had plantar fasciitis, and that technique really, really did help. And if I notice, if I'm on my feet a lot, like if I'm at a networking event or somewhere where I've been standing for a long time, then that is something that is very beneficial. So those are the techniques for this week. Make sure you go back to previous Sundays because I give 2 new tips every week. And again, what I'm trying to do is build up your toolbox with different tips. But also in the description is a calm and breakthrough toolkit. And it has some other tips inside that, including some journaling prompts and one of the meditations that is also on this channel. So again, thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to listen to this and get some tips that can help you in real time. Until next week, have a wonderful week.